The Omnitrix has over 70 aliens, but let's be real, they are not all created equal. For years, we, the fans, have argued in forums and filled up comment sections debating one simple question: who is the single most powerful transformation? We've seen the tier lists, the versus battles, all of it. But the question's never really been settled. So I decided to do it myself and rank every single alien from the original series all the way through Omniverse. And this isn't just about who punches the hardest. I'm looking at raw power, tactical versatility, and those reality-breaking hacks abilities. The results are probably not what you're expecting. Some fan favorites are way lower than you'd think, and the alien taking that #1 spot, it has a level of power that is genuinely difficult to wrap your head around. So get ready, because this is the definitive ranking. So how am I ranking these guys? We're sorting them into tiers, from the absolute worst in F tier all the way up to S, with a special tier for the undisputed champ. My criteria combine 3 things: raw destructive power, tactical versatility, and unique game-breaking abilities, what the community calls hacks. This just means an alien who can bend reality might rank higher than one who's just a super strong brawler. It's my list, yeah, but every single pick is backed up by feats from the show and a whole lot of rewatching epic moments. Now let's start at the very bottom. Welcome to F tier, home to the aliens that make you wonder if Azimuth was just having an off day. Coming in dead last, the single worst alien in the Omnitrix is the worst. His species is the Atrocian, a name that sounds a lot like atrocious for a reason. His only power is being indestructible, but he still feels all the pain. He's literally just a sentient punching bag. Next up is Walkatrout. His power? He's slippery. That's it. He can't fight. He's not strong. He's just a little hard to grab. Then we have Molestache. Yes, the mustache is prehensile and can turn into fists or a propeller, but his actual physical stats are so pathetic, it's almost totally useless in a real fight. And finally, Pesky Dust. As a Nemuina, he can put enemies to sleep and go into their dreams. Dream manipulation sounds cool on paper, but it's a non-combat skill that means getting close to someone who's actively trying to vaporize you. In almost any fight, these aliens are a massive liability. Crawling out of the absolute bottom, we get to the D tier specialists. These aliens aren't completely useless, but their powers are so niche, they're only good in one very specific situation. First, gray matter. As a Galvin, he has super intelligence and can figure out any piece of tech. But when a fist is flying at his face, his tiny size becomes a huge problem. Same goes for Ditto, who can make copies of himself. The catch? All the clones share damage. One solid hit can take out the entire army. Then there's Jury Rig, a gremlin who can rapidly assemble or disassemble machines. Awesome for sabotage, but he's another tiny alien with 0 combat skills. We also have Stinkfly from the original series. Flight is useful, but his goose spitting is a pretty low-tier weapon and he's famously fragile. Wildmutt is a beast with sharp senses and agility, but having no eyes or voice makes strategy tricky. He's basically just a very athletic dog. Crash Hopper can jump really high and create a sonic boom, but that's his one and only trick. And then there's Ball Weevil, who spits sticky plasma balls that explode, but the slow charge-up time lands him squarely in D tier. These aliens might have their moments, but those moments are rare. All right, C tier. These are the reliable brawlers of the Omnitrix. The aliens you pick for a straightforward fistfight, but who don't have that it factor to handle the really big threats. This is where you find the original fan favorite, Four Arms. His Tetraman strength and durability make him a solid pick for any physical fight, but he's outclassed in pure strength by others. And you can't talk brawlers without screaming, "Let me tell you something!" Wrath is incredibly strong and agile, but his apoplexian brain is wired for anger, not smarts, making him a walking, talking liability. This tier is also home to Diamondhead. As a Petrosapien, his crystal body lets him form weapons and fire shards, making him incredibly versatile and tough, one of the best of the OG 10. But his power has a clear limit. We also have Spider Monkey, who's agile and has webs, but is pretty weak physically. The Transylvanians are here too. Blitzwolfer with his sonic howls, and Frankenstrike with his electromotive powers. From the Andromeda 5, Water Hazard is a tough crustacean who shoots water, and Terraspin's wind control is handy, but not exactly devastating. These guys will get the job done against your average street-level thug, but they aren't winning any wars. Now we're in B tier, and we've officially left street level behind. These are the powerhouses, the aliens who can cause city-level destruction and turn the tide of a major battle. This is home to one of Ben's favorite heavy hitters, Humungousaur. This Vaxosaurian has immense strength and can grow up to 60 feet tall, boosting his power exponentially. He's strong enough to toss things into orbit and can take a serious beating. He's joined by another original powerhouse, Cannonbolt. His Arburian Pelorota body can curl into a near-invincible sphere, building enough momentum to smash through mountains. Speed kills, and that's exactly why XLR8 is here. As a Kinoceleran, he moves so fast that time basically stops, letting him land thousands of hits in a second. Then we have the elementals. Heatblast, the very first alien Ben ever used, is a Pyronite who commands intense fire and can fly on a pillar of flame. His alien force counterpart, Swampfire, is also here, combining fire control with crazy plant generation and an even crazier healing factor. And, of course, Big Chill, the Necrophrygian who can turn intangible, fly, and freeze enemies solid. This tier also has the heavy machinery aliens, Armadillo, whose jackhammer arms create earthquakes, and Eatle, who eats materials to fire a powerful energy laser from his horn. And that brings us to a controversial pick, Jetray. He can fly at hypersonic speeds and fires powerful neuroshock blasts. While some argue his speed alone makes him a top-tier threat, his offensive power just doesn't stack up to the aliens coming up next. These B-tier aliens are monsters, capable of handling almost any enemy. Almost. Welcome to A-tier. These are the aliens that can decide the fate of the planet. They aren't just powerful, they're forces of nature, and you can't get much bigger than Way Big. Toku Star born in a cosmic storm, Way Big is a skyscraper-sized giant with matching strength. He can literally throw villains into the sun and fire off a devastating cosmic ray. He's Ben's go-to for any massive threat, but even he isn't at the very top. Here we find aliens with powers that truly bend the rules. Gravitac, a living planetoid, can manipulate gravity itself, creating orbital fields or even miniature black holes. Then there's Feedback. This is the guy who famously absorbed the energy from a universe-destroying weapon, the Annihilar, and fired it right back. His potential is nearly infinite, since he can absorb and redirect any type of energy, from kinetic force to magic. This tier also includes some of the most broken abilities in the Watch. There's NRG, a being of pure radioactive energy inside a containment suit. Once released, he can generate furnace-like heat, fire radioactive beams, and feed on energy. Lodestar has complete control over magnetism, allowing him to control metal, create force fields, and regenerate his body. And then there's Goop, a polymorphic slime held together by a tiny anti-gravity projector. His indestructibility and acidic body make him an incredibly tricky opponent to put down for good. These aliens are world enders. We've arrived at S tier, the gods of the Omnitrix. These two aliens operate on a level so far beyond the others, it's almost laughable. They don't just break the rules of a fight, they rewrite the laws of physics. Coming in at number 3 overall is Clockwork. A Chronosapien, Clockwork has total command over time itself. He can fire a beam that ages an enemy to dust or reverts them to a baby. He can slow time to a crawl or reverse a universal catastrophe by rewinding time for everyone. He once reversed a time bomb that had erased infinite timelines from existence. His only real weakness is a fragile body, but that's not much of a problem when your main power is making sure you never get hit. But even the Master of Time is outmatched in raw destructive force. Coming in at number 2 is Atomix. The creators themselves have called him Ben's second most powerful alien. Atomix is a walking nuclear reactor who can generate miniature suns and fire off blasts of energy with enough force to kick a monster like Ultimate Humungousaur into the atmosphere. He's ridiculously strong, fast, and durable. While Clockwork is a scalpel, Atomix is a full-scale nuclear bomb. We've gone through brawlers, speedsters, elementals, and cosmic gods, but one transformation exists in a tier all its own. It's not just the most powerful alien in the Omnitrix. It might be one of the most powerful characters in all of fiction. The number 1 strongest Ben 10 alien is, and always will be, Alien X. As a celestial sapien, Alien X is an omnipotent, reality-warping being who exists outside of space and time. A single thought from him becomes real. He can create or destroy entire universes without any effort. After the Annihilar erased the universe, Alien X didn't just survive, he recreated the entire thing, down to the last molecule, with a thought. His power to control time, space, and matter is, for all practical purposes, limitless. Of course, this godlike power has a huge catch. Ben has to debate two other personalities, Bellicus and Serena, to agree on literally anything. This made him almost useless for a long time. But by Omniverse, Ben finally gains full control, giving him unrestricted access to omnipotence. Alien X isn't just another powerful alien. He's a living, breathing plot device. He is the ultimate power. So, there you have it. From the absolute uselessness of the worst to the sheer omnipotence of Alien X, we've gone through the whole arsenal and, I think, definitively answered the question. The top spots are clear: the planet-shattering power of Way Big, the nuclear force of Atomix, and the reality-bending godhood of Alien X. I'm sure there are picks you totally disagree with, and that's what makes this so much fun. So, I'm turning it over to you. What did I get completely wrong? What does your top 5 look like? Get down in the comments and let me know. This is one debate that will never really die, and I want to hear your take. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe. Maybe we'll rank the ultimate aliens next.